bonk, bonk.
Oh no!
Fuck, Lucian! Shut the fuck up, Jeff. So, after 30 minutes of completely messing everything up in Q1 and Q2, we finally got a somewhat clean lap in. And as you can see, it was a pretty decent lap. Then heading into Q3, just going to include our best lap. We had done a previous lap, as you can see, a 28.5, and I really wanted to get into the 27. So I'm going to take you through what, well, my best lap of the afternoon was. We run a little bit wide into the final corner, and then coming through the last corner, leave as much room as possible so you can get the best of runs. Now going into turn 1, take a flat out, and flat out for turn 2 as well. Now down into the loop, village I believe it's called, third gear, and then drop it down into first briefly before knocking it back up to second, and then up to third to minimize wheel spin, so you don't mess up like I did every single damn time. Up into 8th gear. Now spot your braking point nice and late. I like to take a nice diagonal angled braking into left field. Up into 4th, and now downshift into 2nd. We have a bit of a moment with their rear end. We should have gone up to 3rd quicker to minimize the wheel spin. And now flat out through woodcut up into 7th gear. You don't need to go in 8th. Use as much of the track as possible. Turn in. We do run a little bit wide, so you want to turn in a bit late and use as much curb. Into Maggots and Beckett's flat out in 8th. Now down 2 gears into 6th. We run a bit wide into 5th for Church. Or Chapel, sorry. And then up the gears. You don't need to let it all the way out wide. Up into 8th now, and I'll spot your braking point for so you can brake super late. You start turning in and then trail brake it all the way through down into 5th gear. We take a little bit of the exit road. You can take a lot more. Now down into 2nd gear briefly before knocking it up to 3rd for the right king. Easier on the throttle. Up into 4th, 5th, 6th, and across the line. And we get a 1:28.1. I was somewhat happy with that, but as you'll now see from the race director, there was definitely more time there available for us. But heading into the race, I had high hopes. Heading into the race, well, here we are at the end of the formation lap. I knew I had pace. Once, as usual, I'd done a lot of practice coming into this, and I thought that the podium was definitely in our grasp, maybe more, but it would all come down to how well we could do the starts. Again, I'd put a bit of practice into the starts as well, so I was confident, and there was rain forecasted for the final couple of laps. Not enough for inters was the expectation, but here we go. So, the 5 red lights are out. We've got our revs at a decent amount. This time we don't go into neutral, and it's not the best of starts, but, I mean, it's a better start than at Austria. Byron takes us off at the line as we head into turns 1 and 2. We try to brake nice and early to stay out of any issues. As you can hear, my team captain Tezzy's in there. We get a bit of a shunt, and we run wide, and that costs us even more places, and after starting in 5th, we are already down to 7th. Make that 8th as Charmander comes across us. We make a bit of contact. But that being said, at least I'm glad I haven't lost a front wing or anything, and I know I have the pace. Now, Charmander runs wide into Brooklands, and we look for the outside as there's contact, and Copy Row Fire gets taken out. Now we've got Calm behind us. And the Calm didn't take part in qualifying, so I knew he was going to be one to really watch out for. And I was hoping to put as much distance between him and myself as quickly as possible. But Charmander runs wide into Cops. We have to lift out so we don't tag him. And as a result, we lose out a big opportunity to pick up the position super quickly. But we know we are super quick through Maggots, Beckett's, and Chapel. We see Charmander run wide. We get on the power. We knock the ears up into Hot Lap. We turn it up into Rich. Use absolutely everything here on this opening lap. And we're looking down the inside. There's not really too much Charmander can do. Down into 5th gear. We put the power on. We use a little bit of exit road as well. Job done. Up into 6th place. And now we can look forward to Impress and Byron as well. As we are just one spot off where we started. So we've only lost 1 place on the opening lap, but I can see the two Red Bulls really pulling away. Impress runs wide here. My eyes can already start lighting up as we notice the McLaren making the mistakes. And we're right on his tail now as we head into the loop. And once again, we're going to knock our ERS right up. Probably knock it up into Rich as well and have a go into Brooklands. But I've been struggling with understeer at the start of this race. It takes me a while to get into my rhythm. We dive it down the inside, but just too late on the brakes. We will run wide and Impress regains the position. And it was little mistakes like these that cost me just more and more time. And you can see the Red Bulls and the Renault of Hodgson just pulling away in the distance on that mini-map. But we are in our strongest section. Sector 1 and the start of Sector 2 is where we're really bad. And Impress has a bit of a laggy lag time. So we are able to jump ahead. But he has a look heading into Maggots and Beckett's. I leave him room. But we're able to secure the position. Now we can look to close in onto Byron. And we are able to do so. Lap 3, again through Maggots and Beckett's. We're super quick here. I'll knock it up into overtake. Rich as well. We look to the inside. Byron doesn't leave us enough room. And this one irritated me slightly because I dive it down 5th gear. Everything's perfect, but Byron, he uses up all of the road. And in fairness, I should not have given him room to come back. I should have just left the door closed because he was behind me, and I just shouldn't have done that. So a little bit cheeky from Byron, I think, but we did end up getting a good race. Now, heading on to lap 4, we get a really good run. We had to cut the corner a bit so we didn't clip Byron. And now heading into a village, down into 3rd gear. I'm looking to have a run at him heading into Brooklands. And we get a decent run coming out through the loop, through the Kink of Aintree. Again, we knock it up into a Hot Lap overtake. And now we're going to look for the inside. Byron doesn't leave that much room, but we go for it anyway. But once again, we're just locking up on the rears. I should have knocked the brake bias up to 55. If I had done that, it would have been a lot better. But later that lap, a lap of 4 now. Once again, through Maggots and Beckett's, we get a good run. Knock it up into overtake. Potentially Rich as well. Yes, we do. And we know where we're going for the move. We go for the inside. Such insane closing speed. And Byron turns in on us that time, and it costs us. We can't get on the power because we almost touch the rear of Byron. So it's kind of twice I've been really frustrated because I should have had, well, 3 times I should have had the move done. 1 time my own mistake, and the other 2 times, well, it was good fun. Let's just say that. Anyway, heading into farm, and Abby Byron runs wide. Now we try to get a good run through. And, well, we get caught out slightly by Byron just being really slow on the apex of the corner. We get on the power, and now Byron is quite a fair bit up ahead. But we know where we're going to get him. We want to get him on the exit of Max and Beckett's. However, right now we have to focus on Charmander, who's on the soft. But we hold it on the inside. We brake early this time, and we hold on to 5th. Now, coming out of Cops, we get a pretty good run. And we know exactly where we want to take Byron. We catch him so much through Maggots and Beckett's. And now heading down into Chapel, we try to get a late apex back on the power as soon as possible. Once again, we knock the ERS up into overtake. We make sure we are in Rich. Byron will go defensive this time. I don't care. I'm going to go around the outside, brake nice and late, trail brake. I try to shut the door as much as I can. I just use all of this road because I just want to make sure there is no chance of Byron getting a pass. However, I have a bit of a squeaky bum moment there. And we lose the back end. but we're able to correct it. However, Byron is right back on us, down the inner side through Abbey, or sorry, through Club. We get an illegal overtake. We let him through, but back past almost 2008 Lewis Hamilton-esque against Kimi Räikkönen at Spa. But we get the job done this time, and well, now we can focus on charging up ahead. We can see Hodgson on the mini-map, lap 6 of 26, and we know we have a pace. But Byron wants more. He's on our inside, heading down the straight. We're going to tuck in right behind him. We're going to dive it down the inside, third gear. Thankfully, he hits us, and that actually pushes us forwards and stops him from carrying momentum. Around the outside of Luffield, we just get more traction. And this time, the job's done because this is our favourite section coming up ahead. And we are indeed able to pull the gap. Now, lap 8. See, it just took us 2 laps to catch up such a massive gap to Hodgson. That is how much our pace was. Into Cops, we get a fantastic run right on the back of Hodgson. But we don't need to do anything stupid. We don't need to try to side by side into Maggots and Beckett. So we just sit behind. We let Hodgson do his thing. And we'll do our thing. Coming through Chapel, we get a great run through the kink of a church. And we're right on Hodgson's tail. We turn it up into overtake. We turn it up into Rich. Job done as we head into Stowe Corner. Now, Travesty and Flyer are so far up ahead. It's about 9-10 seconds. And, well, nothing really happened. In lap 19, I came into the pits. I did leave it super duper late because, well, I lost a second into the pits. So the reason I left it late was because the rain was forecasted to come in 3 minutes. And I wasn't sure if it'd rain enough for inters. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to let the mediums run until that late. I was already on about 65 to 70%. So I was a bit scared. I could have left it later because I was so far ahead of Hodgson. But I decided to play it safe, put on some soft tyres, and see what I could do. Yeah, after we got past Hodgson, literally nothing happened, and we were in a bit of no man's land. Coming out of the pits, we came out alongside an Alfa Romeo, but it didn't really cause us any issues. We held on to the position. Now, lap 25.
Travis is making mistakes.
As you can see, the rain is starting to come down, and I'm discussing with my teammate.
Copy behind you.
6.2.
So, we have a bit of a moment.
Oh, did this time.
So it's getting really wet. But the tactic is for me to drag my teammate along so he can finish
Just try to
ahead.
stick with me, I'll give you a tow.
Yeah. Because my teammate had a 5-second penalty, so I wanted to drag him along so that he could stay ahead. But
Yep, spun it.
unfortunately, he did spin into Cops, and now it's all about nursing the car home. As you can see, we actually caught up.
As well, so I'm fine.
We caught up loads to Travis. The gap had come down from 15 seconds to about 8. But this lap, we just really struggled with the conditions. And here, right at the end of the race, we have a massive squeaky bum moment. Lose the back end. We have to cut through here. Thankfully, I've actually done some research on that beforehand, and I knew I could cut through there and rejoin into Chapel. So, I guess research does pay off. We take the 5-second penalty, but we are so far ahead of Hodgson. We're 11 seconds behind Travesty, so we lost about...
Care into Maggots and Beckett's.
Yeah, I'm taking that thing like...
So we lost about 3 seconds on that final lap, but there we go. And then the final moment coming into Vale, we lose the back end, and, well, nothing really matters. We're just so far ahead. And that was a race, really. Once we had got past everyone else, and we were almost like best of the rest, that was it. And there you go. Finally, we get a Williams on the podium. 2 Brits to take it out. And I was somewhat happy, at the same time somewhat disappointed, because if I didn't mess up qualifying, if I didn't have a bad start to the race, I could have stuck to Travis and made my way through. That being said, though, you know, Calm had a DNF, and if he was in the race, I probably might not have finished third. Still not too sure what happened to him. But final confirmation of the results, I guess. We took a third, a whopping 45 seconds ahead of the Renaults of Charmander and Hodgson. So I guess things are looking really good heading to Germany. All in all, once again, had a really fun time, some great battles, even though at the time I was getting really irate about it because I wanted to catch up to the guys up ahead. But our qualifying pace isn't there. Our race pace definitely is. So I know where I need to focus. If you guys want to watch the races while they are being live streamed, Hit me up on Twitch, twitch.tv/milkycereal1, and I will always try to put out these videos as well on the evening of the races. Next up is going to be Hockenheim, and I think we're up to 10th in the championship now, or 11th after just 2 rounds, so should be a good one. Stay fast, and I'll see you again next time.